When inspecting each piece of foam, always look for missing or mislocated components, voids, tears, collapses, under-trimmed or over-trimmed flash, under-cure and firmness, contamination, poor repair, and any foam on the Velcro. If any defects are found, use your reference card to determine whether the piece should be passed on or repaired. There are currently 3 customer standards: the TS Tech standard, the GMT 900 standard, and the VN 127 standard. As the reference card states, TS Tech allows 10 mm tears, while both GMT 900 and VN 127 do not allow any tears. TS Tech allows voids or collapses on the A surface up to 10 by 10 by 5 mm, while both GMT and VN allow voids and collapses up to the size of a quarter. TS Tech allows voids or collapses on the B surface up to 20 by 20 by 10 mm. GMT and VN allow them to be up to the size of a 50-cent piece. When it comes to internal voids, TS Tech allows up to 35 by 25 mm, and GMT and VN allow up to the size of 2 50-cent pieces. The back of your reference card explains that TS Tech allows a maximum number of 8 repairs to a piece, while GMT 900 and VN 127 only allowed 3 total repairs. TS Tech permits plus or minus 5 mm of flash. GMT 900 and VN 127 permit up to 10 mm of flash and ribbon vents. TS Tech permits the use of tape, while GMT 900 and VN 127 do not. The bottom of the reference card details what is and is not acceptable for any defects or repairs in the critical airbag area marked in red. Your inspection gauge should be used to determine the measurements of any defects. At the thin end is a depth gauge indicating 5 mm to 75 mm. The circles near the center are to indicate the coin sizes referenced earlier. The smallest circle is the size of a dime, the medium circle is the size of a quarter, and the largest circle is the size of a 50-cent piece. The squared end of the gauge specifies the measurements of 10 by 10 mm, 20 by 20 mm, and 35 by 35 mm. When inspecting front seat cushions, start with the B surface. Inspect NRT location and cloth location. Inspect for B surface defects as well as internal defects and trim or over-trim. Flip to the front edge and inspect for defects. Turn pad to the A surface. Inspect for component placement and palm test bolsters from top to bottom for firmness. Check for surface or internal defects in the center. Flip pad to its sides and inspect for defects. After thoroughly inspecting the part, stamp the part at the right bolster. When inspecting the front seat back, start with the B surface. Inspect NRT location and cloth location. Inspect for B surface defects as well as internal defects and trim or over-trim. Then, inspect for the hard parting line. Flip to airbag openings and inspect per standards. Flip pad to headrest holes and inspect for defects. Ensure there is no foam in the holes. Turn the pad to the A surface and inspect for component placement. Check sensor area for defects and ensure that holes are clean. Palm test bolsters top to bottom for firmness and check for surface and internal defects in the center. After thoroughly inspecting the part, Stamp part on bottom right bolster. When inspecting a rear seat cushion, start with the B surface and inspect the NRT location. Inspect B surface for defects, wires, internal defects, and trim or overtrim. Flip to the front edge and inspect for defects. Then, flip the pad to its sides and inspect for defects. Turn pad to the A surface and inspect for component placement. Palm test the bolsters from top to bottom for firmness. Check for surface or internal defects in the center. After thoroughly inspecting the part, stamp part at right bolster. When inspecting rear seat cushions, start with the B surface, inspect NRT location, cloth placement, and inspect frame and wire placements. Inspect for B surface defects, surface wire, and if necessary, gauge both mounting hooks. Inspect for internal defects and trim or overtrim. Stamp both mounting hooks after verifying for length tolerance. Flip to the front edge of the pad and inspect for defects. Then, inspect sides for defects. Flip pad to the hook end and inspect for defects and flash. All 6 holes must be flash-free. Turn the pad to the A surface and inspect for component placement. Palm test bolsters from top to bottom for firmness and check for surface or internal defects in the center. When finished with inspection, stamp part in the center. When inspecting the rear seat back, start with the B surface. Ensure that there is no NRT and inspect that cloth is present. Inspect for B surface defects and wire. Inspect for internal defects, trim, and overtrim. Flip pad to front edge and both sides to inspect for any defects. Turn pad to the front edge and inspect for defects. All 7 holes must be foam-free. Turn pad to the A surface to inspect for component placement and check for any surface or internal defects in the center. Once the part has been thoroughly inspected, stamp the part at the right bolster.